Working correctly. So give me 1 second. I've got my stuff plugged in right over here. All right. Yeah, give me 1 second. I had a mail pop up too, so I had to check very quickly. All right. So I hope everyone is doing good today. It's what, Tuesday in Japan. So Tuesday around 2 p.m. already. Wow. So yeah, we're going to continue with the game build that we've been working on for the past couple weeks. Still have not reached the 24-hour limit yet. So haha. Yeah, this is still going pretty well. With me having to kind of do it on and off, right? But today is Tutorial Tuesday, like I promised. So yeah, I hope everyone is has had a pretty good weekend. Hold on, let me take this guy off. It's a little bit cold in my room, but yeah. I hope everybody had a pretty good weekend and you were able to get some rest and kind of work on your projects a little bit. I'm going to be playing some beats in the background, so let me know if the sound is a little bit too loud for you guys. But yeah, let's see. The game that we're working on in Unity is this one called Spirits of the Lost Wind, which I just kind of gave it the name last week. So we're going to continue with developing this project. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Let's see. So I have put this up on itch.io. So you're actually looking at the itch.io page for this game as it stands at the moment. So, just like a few little screenshots, and, some character art that we're going to clean up. And, how to play the game is listed here, as well as some of my online store products for my from my Nerdy Urges online store, which is right here. And actually, interesting enough, the game that we're working on right now is related to this character. So this is Nikki, and so she is a part of this the I guess Kuramiya, the main character of this game, which is the little fox that we're building, is actually belongs to her. That is her familiar because she's a summoner from the Ryukage clans, right? So yeah, this is one of the I have a lot of little girls running around my area with rocking this hoodie. Yeah. So like I said, a lot of the games that we're building are going to be connected to my main WildFIRE storyline in the same shape, form, or fashion. So let's see. Other than that, I haven't really done that much since we were kind of working on this last week. Some of the things that I did do, however, are let's go ahead and play this. So I did add a few things to this. So one of them being a hold on, why aren't you playing? Yeah. So before, as I mentioned, we have these little icons here which represent the power-ups and the weapons that the player or Kuramiya can pick up. But so when she picks up one of these, you'll notice that it'll pop up in here, and then she can choose to use it or delete it by using either key press buttons, or by clicking this icon. However, right now, when the player runs into one of these cards before, they didn't really have an idea of what it was or how it was being used, because we had the timer over here that gave a little brief description of what it was and how much time they had to use it. But when you're just kind of running around the screen and running in objects, you don't have any clue as to what this object actually is, or what this ability actually is, or how it's used. So to fix that, what I did very quickly is I added some cards, and we're going to change these cards as well. But I added some description cards to these power-ups, right? So when you run into them, it'll give a nice little description, like this is the dash attack, press Q to activate and ram enemies for damage. And then when you're done reading this card, you can click off of it. And if you run into, this only pops up the first time if the card is set to a first time pickup. So when I run into the same one again, you'll notice I have two of the same power-ups, but I don't get that pop-up again. However, if I haven't picked up a key card before, then boom, when I run to this, you'll see the key card pop up, and it says, it'll give the player some instructions on how to actually utilize this card, right? And yeah, I know we're still able to run right through this altar, so we'll fix that today too, right? And we're still using temporary graphics, so don't worry if it doesn't look so good right now. We're gonna hook that up. All right, so I'll go ahead and click off of this one, and then all of them that you pick up will give you a nice little description, and then that will let the player know how they can actually activate these abilities. So if I need to activate my gun here, which I haven't picked up. But if I need to activate my dash, boom, boom. Yeah, I can just dash right into him. Boom, 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 boom. And, you know, like, right now I think I have the timer for this turned off, so. What else? The key card, we don't have anything. Let's go ahead and activate the scatter. Yeah, the scatter shot, boom, 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 so I can fire bullets everywhere. And lastly, for the key card, there are no, there's no activate ability. You just need this in order to basically clear the level. So the player will have to collect all 5 key cards. But if you're in a pinch and you're running low on life, then actually you can just kind of drop this key card. Like, you should be able to drop this key card somewhere. And actually, this key card spawns exactly where the player's at, so I'll fix that. But, you know, you can kind of drop it and she's automatically picking it back up. But, you know, I've got this right over here. So that's kind of what I implemented. So, to show you how I created this little card pop-up system, it was actually pretty easy. So, over here, I went under my UI, and I created another little, you know, another little container called first attack cards. Let me close all of these. First attack cards, right? And basically, under UI, if I open this, and I like click over here. Yeah, so I basically created the cards, and I moved them off center because I noticed that they were actually sitting on top of the player when I was kind of moving around. So I kind of moved them, shifted them a little bit over to the right, so that they would be out of the way, and also out of the way of the mini map that we have here. So it was pretty straightforward. So I just created an empty game object, which is this one to hold, and empty game object here to hold the buttons and the cards. Then I created a an image, you know, and just named it dash attack. And you know, then I just put a square in here. We're gonna change the square, of course, to actually make it look like the card, a cool card. Then under this, I added some text, which is what you're seeing right here, and that's the actual description of what this attack actually does. I mean, it could be an attack, it could be health, it could be basically anything, right? And then this red square that you're seeing right here is the close button, and that is what's going to like close all of these down. On the close button, I did have to add a script. So you know, so we have our button on click event, and I added a script called first attack card. So I'll just quickly open that up for you guys to show you what I did over here, and that ain't it. Alright, so let's see where my first attack card. Alright, so this is like what the first attack card script looks like. I can actually get rid of this. So I might want to add some other stuff to the start and the update, so I just kind of left them there for now. But the main code that you're looking for is just this. So public void close first pop up. And then basically just hide. It just sets the these objects that I have on the screen. They're not really going to go anywhere except for the button, the close button. So in this case, you know, I just set this to hide the actual card, right? So when I'm over here, when the player clicks this close button, this card is actually going to be hidden, and the button's going to be deleted, and it's just going to remove it from the screen unless I set another card as first pickup, right? And to also to get that to work, I had to do some stuff in my player script. So when I go to my player controller right here, basically what I did is I created some additional variables for these. So let's see, I created first pickups. So I created game objects like show first dash card. So this show first dash card object actually goes to, it's actually this one right here. So it's basically referencing this game object. So on my player script, we also have these here. So show first dash card, show ranged card. And so I just basically dragged these UI elements into their appropriate slot here. and that makes it easier to find everything. And don't worry about how this looks right now, because I'm actually going to group them all up into like nice little packages so that you can open them and see everything underneath them later, you know. Yeah, so that's how these were created. And then back in my player code, after I created the variables for this, where am I? Yeah, after I created the variables for this, then what I had to do is I had to like call them when the player interacts, or when the player bumps into the, hold on. Yeah, when the player collides with them. So for example, here's our collisions, where the player can actually bump into stuff and like pick it up. So for the dash attack, for example, I put some code right here to like check to see if this is the first time dash attack has been picked up. So we have a boolean up here, like for first dash pickup, which is declared up, above. And so I have, if first dash pickup is set to true, then show first dash card is set active to true. So that's going to turn the card on the UI. And then after that, I immediately set first dash pickup to false, so that after the first pickup has been registered, it automatically switches that boolean to false, so that the next time if I happen to run into the same power up, then basically like the player won't it'll register it as already picked up, kind of thing. All right, and that's kind of how we got that to work. So like I think it'll be easier just to kind of show you a quick example. So for example, if I wanted to create another one of these, yeah, just for fun, I just right click on this, go to UI, and I would create an image, and then I create like a dummy button or dummy attack. Yeah, so I'll name that one dummy attack. And then for the sprite, you can set the sprite for whatever you want. Normally right now I'm just using squares, so I can go here and like totally just set this to a square, change the color on it to something like ugly, like that, something I'm not going to use. And then when you're working with graphics, remember you're going to want to set this to native size at first. And in this case, the native size is freaking huge, so I'm just going to grab this and shrink it down, right, to whatever size I want. In this case, I'm going to hit shift. I'm going to go up here to the anchor presets. So, and then I'm going to hit shift, and I can like kind of stick this wherever I want it to. But since it's a card that kind of tells us what these attacks are for, setting in the middle is fine. So after we have our card graphic in here in the UI, we're going to click under here, and we're going to create a text. So UI text. So you can use text or Text Mesh Pro. We'll go for Text Mesh Pro, even though WebGL does have a problem with some of my games that are using that right now. So I'm just going to type in, this is a dummy attack. Press D for dummy. So this is dummy attack, press D for dummy. And then also I might want to tell the player how long this attack will last. For dummy to activate, then I might give it a time, like I would say cooldown, but if I say cooldown, people think that it's going to reset after a certain time, and these attacks don't reset unless you pick them up again, so you have to use them sparingly in the game, and I did that on purpose, right? So to activate, so I would say time delay or something, and then like time delay or enabled for 5 seconds, enabled for 5 seconds. And that'll tell us, like, give the player a quick indication of how long they can use this attack before it disappears. Right. And for this one, since this is kind of centered, I'm going to probably go ahead and center this text up. And also I might increase the font size. So I think the other one was like 75 or something like that, right? And after I increase the font size, well, you'll notice that there's a bit of a problem over here. So let's come over here and see what this problem is about. It is, we'll need to increase, sorry, we'll need to, yeah, just kind of pull these yellow things out, and that'll give us a good range for our text. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be perfect or anything, because it's just gonna be popping on and off the screen anyway. So I'll like drag it down here, and that's basically it for our text, right? Our text and our card. And like I said, we're gonna like make this card look really nice later. All right. So now that we have that set up, and we made sure that the instruction text is under the dummy attack. I might actually change that to instructions, right? So we've got this, and now we would need to create our button, right? So our button is, we're just going to go here and we're going to click for another UI image, and we're going to change we're going to use another square or whatever you want to, and then set native size. Go ahead and shrink him down here, and then like you can drag it over to the corner over here, maybe make it a little bit bigger, and then we're going to change this to red so that we can know which one is the button. And then after we've done that, it's over here. So after we've done that, we can like name this one close button. So after we've done that, we're going to go below this and we're going to add a button component, right? So we've got our close button component like attached to this. And now after that, this is where we can kind of add our script, right? So I've already added this script to the previous buttons above. So I'm just gonna, I can like come here and just copy the component since we already have the script in here. And then I will click this one to add to list, but you'll notice there's nothing here. So actually, I'll just go ahead and add the script here instead. So what is the name of that? That is first attack card pop, right? All right, so we're going to drag this script into here, and we're going to look for the close first pop, right? And as I mentioned, that is what that's kind of, we're just calling this code right here to hide the object and to destroy the button, right? So that, the player can't keep on clicking on it. All right, and so we're just going to call that in here. And then the last thing that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to choose which button we want to hide. So in this case, I would just go ahead and drag the dummy attack into this. And voila, there we go. So when we click on this, it's going to hide the dummy attack. So let's click play right quick. Now we don't have a pickup for this because it's just a dummy attack. So I haven't assigned it to any actual attacks, which we can find in the player script. So when I come over here and I click on this, then boom, it should go away. All right. In order to assign this to an attack, what I've done is on my player script, because this is a short game, right? So like I'm putting a lot of stuff in the actual player script, but what I've done on the player script is I have created so what I did earlier is like I would just go up here and I would say like, okay, I need to create a maybe I would just copy this actually. So public game object, and then I would say so public game show first bomb card. Well, I'm just gonna show first dummy. Show first dummy card, and then I need to create a bool for this as well. That would say first dummy pickup or something. yeah, so show first dummy card, first dummy pickup. And then in my script, what I would do is if I had here's my key cards, here's my health pickups. If I wanted to create a dummy, I would say like, maybe put this here and put like dummy. Dummy pickup. So I would want to make sure that my pickup item actually has a tag of dummy. So I would just change this to here. So there's no dummies in my scene right now because I haven't actually created one. But and then I would say, for example, if hold on. So I would basically just kind of copy this script. So these other key cards 2, 3, 4, and 5, they don't have this code because I only want this code is going to be on the first key card that the player will interact with in the game. So I've only put it on key card 1, and that's the only key card that I want them to have an explanation for, because I don't really want them running around the screen and bumping into like cards 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and getting a pop-up every time. So I've only put that script on this card. So for our dummy, what we could do is we can go down here to dummy pickup, and to kind of attach it to when the player collides with it, we'll need to type if, and then like we could put like first dummy pickup equals false, and then we can go here. Then at this point we could put like a show first dummy card, and since it's a game object, we would set active to true, and that will cause the card to pop up when the player actually collides with it. So yeah, and then at that point we could set this to true, but you know, because we might have multiple dummy cards in the scene, we don't want the player to keep on running, want this to keep on popping up every time they run into a different one. So after the first one, this is already set to, sorry, we're going to say if this is true, sorry. So when the player first interacts with the dummy card, it's going to be set to true. And then after the pop-up, we're going to go ahead and set this first dummy card pickup to immediately to false. So that way, even if he bumps into another dummy card within the next 5 seconds, it's not going to give him that pop-up, right? And that's basically what we need to do here. So if we save this script, well, there's no dummy card, but when I come back over to Unity, you're going to see a blank slot where we can actually import that dummy card. Checking my mail, give me a second. All right, so when I go back up to my player, right, and actually this is a pretty good way to testing, like having a dummy object. So if you don't know what attacks you want to make first, it's not a bad idea to just make a dummy object. So let's see, when I go back up to player, you'll notice that there's an empty slot right here. So it says like show first dummy card. Well, there's nothing there, so I'll need to go find this dummy attack here, and I'll just drag him up into here, right? And you know, like basically that's about it. So I've got my bomb pickup, got my dummy attack, and you'll notice that all of these are set to disabled at the moment, you know, because I don't want this if I play right now, this dummy card is just going to be sitting right there in the middle of the screen. So that's why we're setting it to off. And actually back in our code, yeah, so we're still kind of working on this dummy card code, dummy pickup code. So we have this right here, which will work fine. But I also kind of want to go ahead and set it default. So like this is like if first dummy pickup is true, then show first dummy card will be set active to true. And then we're going to add an else right here, and just like to cover our butts. And we're just going to copy this one, and we're going to set this to false. So if it's not, if first dummy pickup is not set to true, then this will be false by default, right? And that is how we can kind of activate our dummy cards. So right now, like we don't have a dummy card in the scene. I'm going to quickly just go create one. And don't worry if my explanation is a little bit fast. I'm just trying to kind of catch you up on what I've done before. But in the template, you know, I'll try to make this as easy to, you know, kind of understand as possible. All right, so we've got our buttons, we've got our UI elements. We just don't have a pickup element. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, and maybe not, I'm not going to do this under UI, so I want to make sure that I'm out of UI, and I can like go up to the top level and go create create an empty, and I'm going to name this like dummy card, and remember that tag. So we basically, if the player bumps into this, like he'll only be able to identify it as a dummy card if it had the tag of dummy card. So we're going to go ahead and add the tag. I believe that was dummy. Yeah. So we're going to add the tag dummy to this dummy card. Okay, and now like he's got a tag, but he doesn't have anything for the player to really interact with. So we're going to go in and we're going to add a component to this dummy card, and we're going to add a box collider 2D, and you can add a rigid body if you want, but we'll set this to trigger. So because this is going to be activated as a trigger when the player enters into the area, and we could go ahead and like toss a rigid body on here if we need, if we want to, and make sure that you set the gravity scale to 0. All right, so dummy card, set the gravity scale to 0. We can't really see anything because there's nothing in here. So we're gonna like click here and go to create 2D object sprite, and you know, you can just toss whatever sprite you want to in here. I'm gonna toss this guy in here just for laughs. All right, so we've got our bomb. Set the layer to like 10 or something like that. Okay, and maybe go ahead and scale it up a little bit because it's kind of small. Okay, and also if you'll notice, our dummy card is like way off center, so we'll go ahead and 0 that out. Yeah, so always make sure that you do that, otherwise you wind up with some funky results. And then we're going to shrink him back down, maybe change the color to match, change the color of the sprite in here to match, you know, somewhat match the dummy card. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna have to, you know, basically, oh well, basically that's kind of it. So, all right. So now I'll move this dummy right around here. And so now, if Kuramiya runs into this, hold on, let's check the box collider. Yeah, that box collider is really small. Yeah, so also make sure that you kind of confirm that. So I mean, that's because the graphic is ridiculously huge, right? So now, if Kuramiya runs into this big ass dummy, now if Kuramiya runs into this big ass dummy, well, right now I don't think anything's gonna happen. Boom, right? So yeah, not like he's not picking anything up. And one of the reasons for that is because of this. So we haven't actually set a boolean for. So first dummy pickup is not set to anything at the moment. So under start, I'm going to go ahead and set first dummy pickup equals true. All right, and let's see if that works. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff open, so. All right. Okay, let's see if this works now. Boom. Okay, there we go. And so I haven't really set this dummy card to like disappear or anything right now. I mean this dummy to disappear right now because we're gonna wind up getting rid of this guy anyway. But you'll see like when she runs into this, she does get this dummy card, which gives a quick description of what this attack or what this ability is for. And then like if we don't need any more, we'll just go ahead and click off of this, and it killed everything, right? And so that's how I set up the the card system for this, right? Which will come in very useful, handy for the player as they're picking up new abilities. And this allows us to go ahead and create new abilities, and just kind of assign them to a default card. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this one. And we're going to go ahead and probably deactivate these dummy cards because we don't necessarily need them. So I could leave it in here, or I could make a prefab out of it if I wanted to. But I don't because it's just, I've got enough stuff in here already. So go back into UI. And so like I said, we are going to clean all of this stuff up. So don't worry about it right now. First, attack cards. So I'm going to leave my bomb one, dummy attack. So basically I'm just going to go ahead and in order to deactivate all of this without having too much of a hassle, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my player script and I'm going to deactivate this here. All right, so I'm just going to like comment out this dummy pickup because we don't really need them in here. I'm commenting out the dummy pickup, and then if I want to reactivate it later, I just got to take those two things out of here. I could like go up here and like delete all of these, but I'm gonna leave those in here because I might want to use them again later if I want to quickly create a new attack or something that's not an attack. For an attack, I would probably just go ahead and copy some of the previous attacks, but for the or health. But if I want to create a completely different item that's not an attack, then I can just kind of reuse this me. Right? Yeah. So, and also I might go ahead and set this to show first bomb cards that active. Show first dummy pickup. Let's see. I forgot where I put my dummy at. So dummy. Okay, there we go. First dummy pickup. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and comment all of this stuff out about a dummy. Because we don't need them right now. Okay, don't need those. Alright, cool. So like that'll remove this dummy object from my player controller, so I don't have to worry about getting an error if that blank is not filled in. Alright, so yeah. Oh, hello. Thank you for joining my stream. I'm just kind of going through some of the changes that I've made to the game at the moment. The game that we're kind of working on, Spirits of the Lost Wind, which, as I mentioned, you can kind of go over here to itch.io and kind of play around with to see what we've got so far. Yeah, so we're going to continue mainly just working on the graphics and like making this look kind of presentable. But I was just kind of showing the card system that I've put up in here for people to kind of view. view which attacks they're actually going to be using. Okay. So let's see, what are we gonna do? I have a different idea of what I want to do for this level. So right now, I've decided that this is gonna be an outdoor level, but we are going to I've decided that I want to turn this into kind of like a little sky city for the player. So what I'm going to try to do is make this look like a little cloud heavenly, scene for our player for our Kuramiya to run around before she gets summoned down to Earth, right? And for some reason this box collider is still ah yeah, my dummy card box collider is still highlighted. I don't know why. You get off, right? Right, so let's see. To continue with this, we're going to jump back into Adobe Animate. All right, and this is what we had so far. But I want this to kind of look like it's floating, right? The city look like it's floating. So that means I'm going to have to do some funky stuff with the water. And I'm also going to need to set some elements underneath it to kind of make it look like it's floating above the clouds. So what I'm going to do here is first, I also kind of want to add a clock looking system. So, kind of make it look like she's stuck in a time vault or something. So, to do that, I'm going to first create a circle in Adobe Animate, and as usual, I'm going to turn this into a movie clip. So, go ahead and movie clip this guy or this girl, and then open up in here. And then I'm going to copy this one, create another layer, very briefly create another layer, then hit Q, and then I'm going to go ahead and scale this down using my shift, right? Now, once I'm sure that's kind of where I want it to be, I might change the color. And then I'm going to cut and drop it down to the bottom layer, and then just go ahead and cut this out to create a nice little circle. And the reason I'm creating this circle is because now I'm going to go to the layer above, and I want to kind of make it look like it's got some gears. No, actually, before I do that, a very quick way to kind of create my gears would be to copy this circle. So let me copy this one, and then I'm going to hold Shift and drag out. That makes it a little bit wider than I would like, though. Yes, I'm kind of creating a gear here. Okay, let me copy this one more time and go to the layer above. And then let's shrink this down. And okay, that might be... what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the width of this kind of edge around here. So I don't want the width too thick. Okay, yeah, that looks good. So I'm going to turn this into pink because we're not going to be using pink. And then I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to drop it onto this layer. And now when I click on the pink and do like this, it will, make it, it'll make it disappear. I want to make him a little bit smaller, though. Ooh, that doesn't look too bad either. For a timepiece. It kind of looks like a bullseye, but yeah, I think we're going to keep this here. Alright, so we're going to keep this, and we'll go ahead and turn this into white. Now, realistically, when you're doing graphics for Unity games, it's not a bad idea to just go ahead and do everything in white. But because you can kind of use tinting to change the colors later. So, for example, if I do this in white, and when I go to Unity, if I want to change the color to any color, well, basically I can just go here and play around with the tinting, and that's what a lot of people do actually. So, and they do it because it's a good technique, and it gives you a lot of versatility. Speaking of which, I don't know what color I want her thing to be yet. So maybe what color do I want her time thing to be? Maybe gray. I might change it. No, I'll probably change it later, but okay. So that's kind of like the base. And then for the top, what we're going to do is we're going to add a um, few rectangles. So I'm going to add a rectangle here, a rectangle without a line. So no line here. So I'm going to add a rectangle up here. And for this rectangle, I'm going to kind of make it a little bit wider at the top. Yeah. And I guess I could arc it out. Nah, no need to arc it out. I'll give it maybe a little bit of bevel right there. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And now what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to hit Q, and I'm going to drag the pivot point to the center of the circle. And that way when I hit Control V and drag it around, it's actually going to duplicate this here. So if I hold Shift, I get like interval. So I think, which I'm going to probably use a lot. Boom. And let me move this over here. Boom. Okay. Yeah, it kind of looks more like a sailor's wheel, though. Now I think about it. Okay. Yeah, that looks like a sailor's wheel, so, you know, but I still have options, so let me go here. That's why I'm kind of keeping everything separated right now. So let me go here, and let me click on this guy. Drop it back over here. Maybe change the color again. Okay. Oh. There you go. Alright, so yeah, now this gives me a little bit more of an option for like cutting stuff out. Yeah. Okay, so that looks kind of like a cog. Okay, yeah, that looks kind of like a cog. And then I'll do the same thing for this one right here. So let me copy this guy, or actually cut this guy, and I'll go up to the top layer and paste him here. Change the color here. So this little color change trick actually works very well if you want to cut stuff out. So I don't want these in the middle right here, so I'll get rid of all of these like little connection points right here. Not you. Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that looks about right for kind of what I'm looking for on the outside. So now I will take these and drag them back down to this layer and temporarily set them to white. I do have a little bit of overlay right there that I'm not too happy about, but Alright, so let me go ahead and do these guys, set them back to white. Okay, there. Now, let's see, what else are we gonna add? So, you know, there's gonna be like a little bit of a timepiece, so let me go back up here. These guys, and put them here as well. And so we're going to go ahead and create the arms for this. So because everything is white, when we're inside of the movie clip, I might go ahead and drag it down here to where we have a little bit more visibility. And let's see. Now back inside of here on this layer, I'm going to go ahead and create a square, and I'm going to. Now I'm not going to worry about animating this right now, but I could animate it to where to where it's moving. For this one though, because I'm going to be dropping this into Unity, I'm not going to worry about animating it so much. So I'm going to put this here. Go ahead and drag it to the center right here. so I can see how it looks. Make it a little bit bigger, I guess, or a little bit longer. Yeah, it might be too long. Yeah, make it a little bit longer. And then like drag it up here and stylize it at the top. So in order to do that, it's pretty easy. I'm just going to go ahead and click here and yeah, kind of make a nice little like a clock hand, you know. And like I'm not going to worry too much about stylizing this all the way at the moment, because you know, like we're still just kind of getting a feel for what we want our scene to look like. Yeah, so yeah, this looks like a pretty good little clock hand. And then of course I've got to make the baby one, so let's go over here and copy. Oh, actually no, let's not copy. Let's go to Q and drag our pivot point to the center of this again. And now we're going to copy and paste in place. And then we're just going to kind of drag it over here. And for this one, I think I'm going to put this on a different layer because we do want these arms to be able to move independently. Okay, so like something like this will work for what we're going for. Okay, so yeah, this is looking kind of all right. I'm still not too happy about these guys, so let me go ahead and put these up in here and see if I can kind of hide them a little bit. I might just go ahead and rotate this guy over here to hide him. Yeah, that might be easier. Because this is actually going to be... The reason why I'm not really going to put so much effort in it, because this is actually going to be hidden. So, maybe drag this one a little bit more this way. You know, kind of shrink him down. And I might actually create a third one, so... Move this one too. Let's see how that looks. So while I'm doing this, I'm remembering one of my favorite games, like Chrono Trigger. Okay, yeah, something like this would look kind of cool, I think. All right, and now what we're going to do is we want to give these bevels and stuff, give these, I guess, these rings and stuff a bit of a bevel. So I'll turn this into a movie clip, and I will go to, not that, none at the moment. And let's see, I'll go to my filters and see what we got for beveling. Okay, so if I turn the bevel up on this, well, it's all white, so you're not really going to see too much, but yeah, that gives it a little bit of a bevel. You know, and that's going to look good for where we're going to put it under the scene. All right, and for the top layer as well, we're going to go ahead and grab each of these and turn them into a movie clip. Yes, this will be under, this will go under the land, right? So we're gonna make it look like this is a city floating in the sky, and it has like clocks and cogs kind of moving around under the background. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. So I should go ahead and move this guy out here. Yeah, thank you. All right, yeah, so there's our movie clip. So we're gonna break this apart though. So we're gonna make this into a movie clip. This will be, hold on, after we bevel these guys. So we're gonna bevel all three of these arms as well. Yeah. Yeah, bevel all three of the arms. Maybe not bevel them too much though. because you notice that we kind of got like the edges showing at the moment. Yeah, actually, maybe not do the bevel. Okay, we'll leave the bevel there. And because these arms should be floating above the actual like timepiece, we're going to add a drop shadow to these. Yeah, add a bit of drop shadow, maybe yeah, maybe around here, and change the angle. Well, we'll drop the alpha down to like 50, and then we'll change the angle and the distance a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So it looks like these arms are actually floating above, which is what we want to a point. This guy is starting to get on my nerves though. So why are you like showing so much? Okay. Well, either way, it's probably not going to matter because of where we're going to be sticking them, but this guy does look a little bit too floaty at the moment. Yeah, so I might just put him there. Okay, so now we can kind of independently move all of these arms. Okay, yeah, so now we have our timepiece and we can kind of just move everything around, rotate everything around, and it'll look like an actual clock. So if we do want to animate this, which now that we've gone through the trouble of making all the arms separate, we probably will, to be honest. So, yeah, so now that we've got all of these kind of things kind of set up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and I'm going to take the tint off of this movie clip for now. Maybe take the tint off the outside. Because I still don't really know what color I want you. All right. And then we'll go here and we will export this PNG sequence. Just as a placeholder right now. So time clock 1. Alright, so we're going to take this time clock and drop it into Unity. Alright, so let's see here. Yeah, I know I got a lot of windows open, leave me alone. I do a lot of work. Alright, so we're going to go find that on our desktop. Spirits of the Wind. Alright. And let me go to my sprites folder. Right here. And now I'm just going to go drop this time clock in here. Just to kind of see what it looks like. Okay, so we got this, we got our temps, we got our time clock. Let's go ahead and drag our time clock here. And because we want this to look like a city in the sky, we're going to take this time clock and we're going to drop it down to like layer minus 80 or something like that, right? To where minus 100. Come on. Alright, so maybe minus 100. I mean, that could like be like a little sun thing, but we don't want it to kind of look that way. So we're going to take this and kind of squish it down like this, yeah. And then we're going to drag it right around here. Yeah, so maybe drag a few of these guys around here. Okay, so yeah, she's got her, she's got yeah. Wait a minute, I just noticed something. Okay, there might be an event where we want these things to really kind of rotate a little bit first. So right now, if I squish them down and I rotate them, the rotation is going to look a little bit funky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add a script that I previously created when we first started this, and that was the rotation script. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and add this rotating object script to it, and see which way and kind of change the rotation speed. So I'll change it to like 50. And then when we hit play, you're not going to see anything because you're not going to see anything on the game window, but we're going to be checking the scene. So hold on. Let me go ahead and stop this one so we can actually check the scene editor. Okay, so yeah. So in our scene editor, yeah, this is kind of moving somewhat correctly. I think we might want it to go the opposite direction though, so let's go ahead and set this to clockwise rotation. So let me stop this. Set this to clockwise rotation. So I mean, even though there's a 2D game in the background elements, we are going to want something like kind of moving to make the scene look like more alive. So, it's still not rotating in a clockwise fashion. Why is that? Clockwise rotation. That's weird. On my other script it seems to be working. Alright, well anyway, like we do have like some rotation here. Find out what's going on with you right quick. Yeah, if clockwise rotation equals false, else Oh, okay, that's why. So, yeah, I have this like kind of set. I forgot to put this one to minus. That's why. Alright, so now when I set this to clockwise rotation, it should rotate the correct way. Okay, there we go. Alright, good. Okay, so now that we have this clock rotating in the right direction, what we're going to do is we're going to create an empty game object and stick it under this. Okay, so create empty. Okay. I don't know, like clocks 1 or clock 1. Okay, so we're going to take this clock 1, and this clock 1 is really nothing. It's just going to be like a container so that we can take this and scale it down. Yeah. Now, when I click play, because the rotation script is actually on this time clock graphic and not on the parent, then the clock inside should rotate. Alright, yeah, that's what we're looking for. Okay, good. And, so yeah, that's kind of how we're going to set this up to make it look like she's coming from a place between time and space, like maybe heaven, I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of what we're going for. Alright, and time clock, I think the color we're going to use Ooh, that doesn't look bad at all. Something a little bit, yeah. Something, I guess like a gold and kind of like a goldish silver. We're gonna add like some other cool effects to this anyway, so some goldish or silverish looking, things. Because these are going to be placed under the land to kind of give a little bit of a sense of depth and distance. So like I might put a couple of them around here, so like when Kuramiya starts running around, she should notice some things kind of moving under the earth where she's like where she's basically running around and being a cute little fox that's getting ready to get sent on a mission. Okay, so this can be like time clock 1, and then we can kind of drag these all over the place now. So duplicate, and then move this one right here. Maybe scale it down a little bit. Okay, and we're still going to add water to this, by the way. So don't want to add too many of them, but just enough to make it look like there's something kind of mysterious or unusual about this place. And we'll set this one, this time clock, to maybe like rotate the other way. Okay. So we'll have it rotate the other way at this like same speed. Okay, and we're still kind of checking and seeing view right here. Okay, yeah, that looks kind of good, right? So now, when Kuramiya runs up here, she should see like, there's some kind of weird looking thing kind of going on here. And those clocks are moving way too fast, so I'm going to drop the speed down to like 10 or something. Yeah, so she is a slave to time, or she's a timeless entity. Okay, yeah, that looks a lot better, a lot smoother, I think. Okay, there she is. So she's in her spiritual plane where like time runs differently from the rest of the earth. Okay, good. Yeah, that looks nice. We're gonna add like probably like maybe one or two more of these somewhere. But we don't want to overcrowd the space with them. Just enough. Oh, okay, yeah, that looks kind of good. Right. So yeah, I think we're just gonna put 2 of these in here. But what we are going to do though is maybe we don't want the arms on the other one, so we're gonna go over here to Adobe Animate, and we're going to kind of duplicate this symbol, and we don't care what we name it. And we're going to go in here, and we're going to get rid of these guys, right? And just make it look like a normal cog instead. Right, and then we're going to export this, and I might name this one like cog. So I mean, I just kind of created 2 graphics when I could have just created one cog and then just put the arms on top of it. But it's just a mini game, so there's hundreds of ways to kind of do the same thing. So we're not going to worry about it too much, because I mean, like, this isn't going to be large enough to really cause any performance issues. Then we're going to streamline it anyway with a lot of the with just using a lot of prefabs. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna grab my cog and drop it in here. Okay, it didn't import actually. Alright, yeah, so that looks pretty decent, I think. And now what we're going to do, this is a heavenly realm, but I mean, like, I do want to have some, some kind of perspective, like, and we're still going to have water around here. So, for the water, before I was using circles, but I think, I think I'm going to get rid of this green square here. Yeah, maybe we don't really need. Or at least shrink this down. Yeah, so I'll shrink this one down a little bit. Not that way. So I'll shrink him down and kind of move him over here to where he kind of acts like a cliff or a drop off to the real world. Okay, yeah, so something like this. Because we might have like some water just kind of flowing off here. Right, yeah, something like that. Alright, so now that we have our land here, we can actually create like some water. So for the water that I was creating, I was just using like boxes and squares, but since we have Adobe Animate open, we might as well go ahead and try to utilize that, because I noticed like when I was using boxes and squares, if I wanted to set the opacity down, then we were actually like getting a little bit of overlap with them, which is not kind of what I wanted. So we'll go over here to Animate, and we're going to create some water. Now, I mean, in order to simplify it, if I wanted to, I could just use a, like, go to this water depth and come over here and just drag it right here. So it depends on where I want the water and what I want it to be doing, right? So I want this water to be a little bit, why are you skewed? I don't want you skewed. Yeah, you should not be skewed. All right, there we go. So, say I want this water to come up to around here. I can like set the opacity down to about maybe 5 or something like that. Yeah, so I could do something like this. Make it look like to make it look like this cog is or this timepiece is actually under water, which I think I might actually do. It doesn't look too bad actually. Yeah, set it. Let's see how that looks. Okay, that actually doesn't look too bad for what I'm thinking of doing. And let's scale it up a little bit on the Y. And move it back down here. Maybe change the opacity a little bit. Make it up, bump it up a little bit. Maybe kind of give it a little bit of a under the sea type of tone. Okay, that doesn't look too bad, I think. Okay, so I kind of want I kind of want to make sure that we see water, but we also see like the cogs and stuff turning. Let's see. And I'll need to make a little bit of a waterfall here. So let's just go with boxes right now. I was gonna try something else, but let's go with boxes and see how that works. Okay, so I can bring this over here and maybe actually change the tint and the color of this one. Make it a little bit. Let's see, should it be getting darker or should it be getting lighter? I think actually. It should be getting a little bit darker heading this way. See how this looks. Yeah, I'm going for kind of like a, we're gonna put like a waterfall here. So I want to make it kind of look like it's cascading a bit. Okay, so yeah, something like this for here. And then I might put like some white foam around here. And okay, that doesn't look too bad. Maybe scale it in a little bit here. Right, so yeah, we can do this. Okay, and we can still kind of see our clock, our cogs turning under the water, which is good. Right, and now I think, yeah, actually I'm starting to like the feel of this, the look of this one. All right, so we got our water, our darker water, and after this one, I might add another layer of water here, and that would come down around here, and I'll change the color of this one to something even darker or lighter. I don't know what I want to do, like dark or light. I think maybe lighter, and like a little bit more opacity here. And let's see how this looks, because this will be kind of like the fall off point for our waterfall. So like using a couple of different colors here, maybe like make this one a little bit lighter, whiter. And I might want to rotate this one a little bit as well. So that's where that skewing is coming in. Okay, so yeah, maybe this will be like the waterfall fall off point. Yeah, so I mean, like now we can see like some color variation going on here. So, you know, we've got our cogs playing and like, you know, spinning around and under, so in the background, but we can clearly see that there's something moving under the water. Then we have our normal water, like, you know, that's kind of, you know, just kind of kind of flowing down this way. And then we have our waterfall, which we're going to create down here. All right, cool. And I think we're going to add one more waterfall over here as well. So I'll go ahead and duplicate this guy and move him up over here. And I will get rid of that because I really don't like it when it does that. So we're going to create a bit of a cascade here. Okay, so we're gonna create a bit of a waterfall over here as well. And I think we're just gonna kind of rotate this guy and kind of angle it this way. And maybe we don't want him to move so much. We want him to kind of look like the waterfall is just kind of falling right around there. Kind of like starting right around here. Okay. And I guess we'll go ahead and duplicate this guy and make it a little bit darker. And all I'm using, like I said, all I'm using is like just the prefabs from before. So this prefab water is all that I'm really doing. So minus 98, something like that. Okay. Well, this will work for now. You know, just for the temporary layout of this. All right, so this is all good. And now we can still see like our, kind of see our clouds, see our horizon. Actually, we're going to make these a little bit smaller though, because I do want, do want there to be some fall off to where we can actually still see that this is in the clouds. Okay, there you go. And where's our other water at? That one should be reduced a little bit as well, I think. Maybe to around here. Okay, maybe to the bottom of this, because she's not going to really be running over here so much, I think. Okay, and then this last one, I think we can kind of definitely scale this down. Because this is just the final drop until we go off into heaven, or go down to earth, I mean. All right, cool. So we've got our 3 little layers of water here. Okay, and now with this, I think what we're going to do is we've got our pier, we've got our water. We want to make sure that we can kind of see the sky as well. Okay, let's see how that works. Okay, yeah, we'll see how this kind of looks. And I might add some more land over here actually. So the look that we're kind of going for is like heavenly ethereal. So let me stretch this out and kind of shrink it down, maybe. Okay, that could be like another kingdom or another area right here. I'm not really sure if I like that though. No, okay, I don't like that, so I'll get rid of these guys. And we're gonna move not you. We're gonna move this one up a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, well, right now this doesn't look too bad. So let's go ahead and play. Okay, yeah, it's cool. So we got like some stuff moving around in the water. You know, like some time stuff. We have our waterfall that's like that will be moving as well. Okay, so we got our waterfall. I'm gonna extend, now that we have our waterfall, I'm gonna extend this place out where she can her travel range a little bit. Yeah. All right, and I think I'll go ahead and do that because we do want her to be able to see a little bit more of the scenery. So I'm gonna go down here, and if you'll notice that we did have a Polygon Collider, so we're gonna start playing around with that guy again. So go to Polygon Collider. Sometimes it doesn't want to show up so well, so Polygon Collider, turn it on. Okay, and then like if you hit F, sometimes it'll allow you to see stuff. All right, so we're gonna drag this area down a little bit more, I think, and like let her see off of Heaven's Edge. See off of Heaven's Edge, not jump. All right, so yeah, so we don't want her like really jumping anywhere, but we are gonna let her give her a little bit more visibility to the end of the world. Okay, and we're gonna extend this out here just to let her know that, you know, she's kind of in a special place. All right, move this over here. Okay, and let her get closer to the waterfall. Yeah, so maybe move it all the way out to around here. Yeah, I think this might be a wide enough world view for her at the moment. I might as well go ahead and pull these guys here. Okay, yeah, let's see how that looks for her running area. Okay. Yeah, she bumps into that. It's still a little bit small, but... Okay, yeah, she can see here. A little bit further. Okay, yeah, that might be better. Okay, yeah, so now she can go right to the edge, and so she could see all of this weird stuff happening. Okay, cool. And so what we're probably going to do is we're going to add some clouds and stuff under this, some parallaxing clouds and, stuff for her later. So that it looks like the clouds are kind of moving under the water. Right, but I think let me come over here while I've got this open as well. And I'll go ahead and extend this running area out to around here as well. So she can kind of run to the edge of this. May not want her running off of the rocks, so. And this is one reason why it's good to use the Polygon Collider, because it really does allow you to kind of like, define some pretty cool like restraints in areas. Yeah, I'm gonna move this guy here. Well, just right to the edge. Okay, yeah, so this will be a nice little running range for her, I think. Right, and actually, I think probably what I'm going to do is go ahead and drag this tab back to where it used to be. Yeah, that way we can kind of like see a little, you guys can see a little bit more of my screen space and what I'm doing. I like to do them side by side, but in this case, maybe it's better to, so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so we've got our movement here. We got this right here. She's got her little tour. Yeah, her little world tour thing going on here. Right, and she can come all the way down this way. Come down here. Okay, and now we can kind of see the sky. She's, oh, yeah, I am in heaven. Cool. Okay, we can see the sky here. So this will be like the waterfall that we're getting ready to create. All right, so let's see, go back to our scene. All right, so now, we've got our nice little, like, our nice little world view here. We're gonna click here. Let me turn this polygon thing off. All right, let me click here. We're gonna copy this and we're gonna smooth out the bottom over here. So just make a few. I could do this in Animate as well, but like I said, I want to kind of use prefabs as much as possible. Okay, maybe a little bit over here and like something over here. And kind of make it look like it's kind of floating a little bit. And then let's see, we'll duplicate these guys, move them down, and I'm going to change the color of these to something a little bit more representative of land. Oh, that's just ugly, but something like this wouldn't be too bad, I think. And then we're going to drop these down a few layers to like maybe 50 to where they stand out a little bit more. Okay, yeah, something like this would work for now. Just because like a temporary graphic. So, yeah, so something like this will work. And then also over here, we're gonna kind of do the same thing and drop it down here, and also put this one. Oh, this one's way back. Yeah, leave him maybe 96. All right, cool. And we're also going to change the color of this one as well. So let me get my color picker. Sometimes this color picker works, sometimes it doesn't. So it depends on if you're lucky or not. Okay, I was not lucky that time. All right, so we're gonna like change this one as well to around the same color. So if you ever get stuck on a color, one of the best things to do is just go ahead and like come over here and just copy the hexadecimal. Okay, and then you know, you can just paste it right here. All right, cool. So we've got our nice little like sky underwater scene kind of going on, and you know, I do want her to be able to like view the sky and like kind of know that she's in a very special place. So I'm gonna change the tint on this a little bit. Maybe make, oh no, not no, that just doesn't look right. I was gonna change it to like a bit of an orange, but I might need to rework this sky in Adobe Animate actually. So we'll leave this guy like this for now. But anyway, so this is her little magical kingdom that we're building. Hey guys, thank you for joining my stream. I'm about to jump off it a little bit to like cook lunch or dinner, but it's almost like 4 o'clock in Japan, so. Yeah, depending on if my kids actually ate lunch. So, so that's why I said lunch or dinner. So I'm gonna continue to work on the graphics on this a little bit, but then I'll be jumping off to Okaidi. Yeah, that was my youngest son coming home as we speak. Hmm? あ、これ消していいよ。外が寒い？いや、全然。俺走ってきたから。Oh, wow. Hey, hello. I got like 19 people who joined my stream. Thank you. Hey guys, it's nice to see you. So I don't really have my comments on at the moment. Give me a second. Let me check. Let me go ahead and log in over here. So we're just kind of building this game. Like I think I just got raided by somebody. Oh, hello. Yeah, this is my youngest son. Oh, like daddy stuff. Okay. My youngest son just created this thing. He likes Marshmallow from Fortnite, and you know, like they're the popular singer. Yeah, so this is like some of his artwork. それがlike 何で作った？いや、なんかね、板になんか絵を描くってやつあったから図工で。Oh, okay. So yeah, he just did that in school. So yeah. So anyways, like oh, okay. 遊んでいいよ。So he's gonna go to the park at the moment, and you know, let me work a little bit more. But that probably means he's gonna be hungry by the time he gets back home. So Daddy's gonna have to hurry this up. So we have our enemies that can shoot at us. We have our dialogue system, you know, which we can kind of you know, use to talk to people or receive messages from people. We do have our power-ups, which I will show you very quickly. So this is the first power-up that we've got. This is our dash attack with our card. So that tells me what I can do with it. So I can click off of this. And to activate this dash attack, I can either click here or I can hit the Q button. So let's like go ahead and attack absolutely nothing and kill these guys. Boom. You, and you. Yay. So I just wiped out the entire like entire village of enemies. Right, so we've got our dash attack. We have our key cards, which are you know, things that the player is going to have to pick up in order to escape the level. We've got our view. I'm going to create a waterfall, and then I think I have to start cooking soon. All right. I'm speaking Japanese. Hi, Danika? Kaka? Sorry, I'm kind of bad at reading right now when I'm doing this. Yep, so I'm in Japan right now. I've been living in Japan for about like 20 years. So my kids are Japanese as well. Danny Kaka. Okay, I'm just gonna call you Danny. All right. So yeah, yeah. Thank you for joining the stream. So where are you guys from? Yes, Danny, Danny. Danny is much easier for me. Okay. So yeah, where are you guys from? I'm kind of looking at multiple screens at once, so that's why my head keeps swiveling. So I've been working on this game for a couple. Oh, California. I used to live in San Diego actually, when I was out processing from the Navy. Yeah, so I was in the military for like 6 years, and my final station was actually San Diego. Yeah, I'm originally from Tennessee. Yeah, Chattanooga, Tennessee. All right, so let's see. We've got this. Um, in this background, I do want to kind of leave it to where we can see the sky. Because I do want it to look like a city in the sky that she's actually staying at. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of cheat, and I'm gonna zoom in in Adobe Animate. Florida. I used to live in Florida as well, Tallahassee, when I was a kid. I've lived everywhere, man. I've been to like 44 different countries. So so I don't really have. I mean, I'm originally from America, but I've kind of been around the world. Hmm. Yo, that's my oldest son, like coming home. Okaeri. Bukatsu nakunata. So my oldest son just got home and he's telling me that his after school club was canceled. Nande nakunata?
今日は人数が少なくて難しいから。
Well, I like Japan because it's safe. I've been here for 21 years, so my background is actually financial IT. So but I mean, Japan is actually pretty chilled. They don't have any guns. And they're pretty relaxed people for the most part. I mean, except for when it comes to like work. They're definitely workaholics, which is not my thing, man. I'm like, So I used to work for like, some of the banks here in Tokyo, and it was just like, the pay was good, but man, it was just crazy hours. You'd be working like 16, 20 hours a day and shit. So that's one reason why I'm getting back into like game development. So what I'm doing right now is actually I'm going to create a sky island to kind of put into the background of Unity to make it look like there's floating skies around the water and the like little timepiece that we just made. Yeah, but living in Japan, I've like it's actually pretty cool. Like I like the people, I like the culture. It's kind of weird sometimes, being a foreigner. So, you have to there's always going to be like some cultural differences and stuff like that, but once you start getting over those, I think it's a pretty good place for raising a family. And it's actually easy to travel, a lot easier to travel around. So what I'm doing now is I'm kind of creating the top layer of our island, and I'm going to go ahead and create the under the ground for it as well. Okay, so we're just gonna put this here, and one of the laziest ways I can think of to create this island would be to go here. We're gonna click on this bottom layer, and we're gonna use our lasso tool, and we're just gonna go like this, and then we're gonna cut out the stuff that we don't need. Hold on, let's see. Actually, I think I'll make this a little bit more like this. Yeah, so we're gonna use this technique and then just cut this guy out and then get rid of the rest of it. Oh yeah, the train system is very convenient. So like I don't really like taking the train because I'm antisocial and I don't like being surrounded by people I don't know. So I try to avoid the trains whenever possible. But when you live in like where I live, which is like central Tokyo, it is really convenient. So you can't really deny that. The convenience of the system. It's just like whether you it just kind of depends. I'm a country boy. I'm from Tennessee, so I prefer like to be out about in nature. Yeah, Tokyo trains. Have you been to Japan before? Or are you living in Japan now? Yeah, like anyone? Yeah, Osaka. The trains are like kind of like more chilled, but people are a lot more relaxed in Osaka. I think and when I say relaxed, they are not so afraid of like talking or anything. Mm. Okay, yeah, just once. Oh, just once is good enough, I think. So, I mean, me, I like living here because I like when it comes to countries, I like Singapore. I used to hang out in Singapore a lot, but Singapore is too small. Mm. So, for actually living, and Singapore is expensive. Tokyo is expensive, but there's more stuff to do. Mm. Yeah, like, well, if you're ever going to come back to Japan, like after this coronavirus thing finally goes away, like, I think it would definitely be a good experience to come here and stay for about like a month or two if you can. 2 weeks isn't enough to really experience everything, and also like, when it takes about like a month to see what Japan is really like, to be honest. So I do kind of think that people who come here for a short visit don't really get a chance to experience everything that they should, or everything that everything that Japan has to offer. Mm. Oh yeah, there's plenty of stuff to do in a month. Like not just in Tokyo, but outside of Tokyo, like in Osaka, in like Nagano, go skiing. You know, check out Kyoto and stuff like that. So I would like highly recommend it if you ever have time. All right, so I'm still working on the bottom of this bottom part of the island, and when I get to hold on, let me switch these colors right quick. So I'm gonna put like some lines here to show, not that damn big. Uh, put some lines here to like show some like just some cracks in the rock. Yeah, yeah, Tokyo is kind of well, Japan is expensive. Tokyo is like probably the most expensive place you can go, and yeah, definitely not in summertime. Yeah, Tokyo is not where you want to be during the summertime. Even Japanese people don't want to be here in the summertime usually. So that's why as soon as they get some money, they rock off to like somewhere a little bit cooler. So skiing is actually a very popular hobby here during the hot season, and going to Hokkaido. Yeah, but Tokyo is nice. Tokyo is convenient, but Tokyo is just a flat slab of concrete with a bunch of buildings and like and windows that reflect. So yeah, you will be cooking here. So that's why I try to stay indoors, or I try to head out to like green areas. Mm, during the summertime whenever I can. But some of the islands around here are amazing. So, if you ever get a chance to visit like Amami Oshima or something like that, or Okinawa and places like that, I would highly recommend. Nara. Yeah, Nara, I've never been to Nara, but for me, Nara is a lot like Tennessee because we have a lot of deer in Tennessee anyway. And I used to hunt. So, as a kid, we used to go hunting for food and like, for my mom would make deer skin stuff, because we lived by Native Americans, so they taught us how to do a lot of stuff. Mm. So when I go to Nara, I think my image is like, like this one might taste good. So, yeah, but Nara would be my oldest son went to Nara. Yeah. Oh, that is a picture of Amaterasu from that game. One of my favorite games. I can't remember the name of it now though to save my life. Okay, so let's see. Now we're going to work on the top a little bit. Yeah, I know. Like it was just part of our culture back then, like just hunting and stuff. But like yeah. Now that I'm in Japan, I don't really have a need. Ah, yeah, Okami. Yeah, Okami. That game. I love that game. I love the graphics of that game. Okay, so we're gonna make this. Um, Now when it comes to doing, that's your favorite game? Yeah, like I get a lot of inspiration from that game. And like some of the, I'm a comic writer. I'm a novel writer, and I make comics as well. That's not gonna look good. So, a lot of the artwork that I like to use is kind of inspired by that game. All right, so let's get rid of. Ah, damn it. So, using the lasso tool to cut out stuff. I don't know if any of you are actually using Adobe Animate for any of your projects, but if so, like the lasso tool, if you know how to use it, it's like one of the greatest tools ever invented. Okay, yeah, that looks kind of beanial, a little bit. So let's scale this up more. Usually when my youngest son comes home, he's hungry. So I'm kind of surprised that he probably noticed that I was streaming and decided that he didn't want to bother me, so he just went outside. But usually he's like, "Hey man, where's dinner?" Like, yeah. But he can only do that now because like once he gets older, he better start cooking. He better start cooking for himself, and he better start cooking for me. So yeah, I'm still not getting the right shape that I want. That's why might keep on messing with this. All right, I want it to look a little bit like rough around the edges. Yeah. And did I just no? Yeah, it takes a couple times. So. Okay, let's try this one. Huh. Yeah, I'm not getting the effect that I want here. So. Let me give up on that right quick. Alright, so there's a couple of ways that we're going to build this island. This is going to be supposed to be a simple game anyway. So, might leave it like this and just go ahead and add kind of bevel it out like this. Or extend it out like this. Maybe make a few cuts here. Yeah, okay, yeah, that looks like an island. I should have just done that to begin with. Alright. Oh, I've been working with Unity off and on for, I would say about, realistically, I just kind of got back into it. I was on Unity 5 for a while, but then I started doing mobile applications. So I used to be an iOS programmer using Xcode and Objective-C. So I used to put games out on the App Store and stuff. But I just got tired of Apple really just kind of like changing around the format of their phones all the time. So after that, I got tired of doing iOS development, I would be in the middle of a project and then it'd come up with a new phone with new screen dimensions and all of this stuff. And so I just got tired of their speed of updating stuff. So then I went back to Unity. And then I would say I've been really doing Unity since for about the past 2 or 3 years, just kind of off and on. I have my own company, so I can't really, until recently, I've been kind of focusing on doing more running my online store, which is, the products that you're seeing right now are from my online store, nerdyurges.com. So, let's see. So a lot of the here's the game game demo for the one that we're working on right now on itch.io. Just kind of what we kind of did last week. But if you're interested, you can check out the online store because that's where I make original character merchandise. So my main business is actually this right here, my online store. But as I make games, I make products based on those games, and they're trying to stay out of view of the camera. Right. So realistically, about maybe 3 years, I've started, kind of getting back into Unity. But this year, I want to go completely serious and just do this full time. So that's kind of why I've started making these videos, because I realize I need to kind of study and improve my skills. Okay. So yeah, we have these little island things, and we're just gonna kind of copy and paste them all over and kind of manipulate them by squishing them down or flipping them. So I'm not a Unity expert yet. I'm working on becoming a Unity expert. Originally, I was supposed to be moving back to the U.S. Back in 2019, and so I went back home for the first time in almost 20 years. And then luckily, right when I got back to Japan, that's when the COVID pandemic actually really kicked into high gear. So I was supposed to move back in moved back to America in June of 2020. But I just kind of got stuck here, and I've been here ever since. Which actually turned out to be a pretty good thing, I think. All right, so for this one, we're gonna make him a little bit bigger here, I guess. So we're just kind of stacking these things, and I'll do one more. Maybe, and then like flip it on the other side, so. Okay, yeah, so this will be our one little floating island, I think, you know, for now. And then we'll just change it up and make it look better later. All right, so we're gonna take this guy. Stuck in Japan doesn't sound bad. It's not. It really isn't. So like I said, the people are pretty nice, pretty friendly. I mean, no matter where you go, you're gonna have somebody who's gonna do something stupid, and that applies to Japan as well. So but I've dealt with like many different people, and like some good, some bad, all over the world. So like out of all of the people that I've kind of dealt with, I would say like crazy in Japan is a little bit easier to understand than in some other countries. Okay, cool. So yeah, here's going to be our little floating island, one of our little floating islands. And then we're going to go ahead and export PNG sequence. And put floating island 1. Okay. So like I said, I'm just using temporary graphics right now, and we're just going to like just to kind of get a feel for the game, and then we're going to like replace a lot of these and like shrink them down or whatnot. Okay, and we're gonna stick this island over here. Yeah, but my goal is to go full-time game development this year. So, like kind of give up all of the other projects and stuff like that. Full-time game development and full-time like online store, like just doing gaming stuff. You know. So I mean like I was kind of playing around with it, off and on and doing stuff before, but now now that my kids are older, one, they need more money. And two, I feel like I have a little bit more freedom to kind of start really kind of pursuing what I want to do. So we're gonna move this floating island right around here, I think, and we'll put it below the water, I think. So that'll be like -80. Come on, wait a minute, where's my water at? Oh, that's like -100. So -150, 110. Okay. So kind of make it look like it's floating behind all of these things right here. It is very, very hard to escape the 9 to 5 job life. Before I was working for like major companies here in Tokyo, and then like I worked for Apple, I worked for like PwC, I worked for in different capacities, and a lot of the clients here, I had a lot of clients in IT recruiting before as well, and that was a beautiful island that we can't see. All right, so I had a lot of like clients in IT as well. So and I mean, while it was cool at the same time, it was a lot of work, and that's one reason why I didn't get into game development before, because it was almost impossible to like really find time to do anything, and once I had my first son, I remember I was working for Bloomberg, and like working for Bloomberg was great, but at the same time, like, you basically had like no free time to do anything, because, sometimes I'd be sleeping in the office when I was working for Bloomberg News. So, I mean, they have massage chairs and everything, but I mean, the office was really decked out. But then I realized that the reason that the office is really decked out is because they plan on keeping you there as long as freaking possible during the daytime. So, once I had my first son, I kind of decided that I didn't really want to like spend so much time overcommitting to like working in companies and stuff. So, so I wanted to have like because I know a lot of Japanese guys who never even get a chance to be a father. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. They have massage chair. They have old lady like chopping vegetables and stuff. So I mean, Bloomberg is really nice. A really good company to work for, and they do tend to take care of their people a lot. Uh, yeah, so it's one of the best companies that I've worked for, to be honest. I mean, I think I probably would have stayed there, but I was doing like live graphics design for Bloomberg at the time, and they wanted to keep me, but there was a bit of an issue with me coming from a different team, so I had to kind of wait a year for them to be able to like hire me full time. But then we found out that my wife was pregnant and was gonna have a baby, so I can't wait a year for and not have a job. So we just kind of I just kind of jumped into IT recruiting at that point in time. All right, so I think we're gonna pull this guy down here a little bit and move this island over here. Uh, yes, I'm still kind of playing around with the perspective of this game. Sorry, guys. And we're gonna shrink this down here. Oh wow, I'm getting rated a lot today. Thank you. Uh, yeah. Wow. I didn't think I was gonna get rated so much during the daytime. Hey, hello everyone. Focus Lab from Focus Lab Studio. Thank you for the raid. Wow, this is great. Like my stream is still a little bit fresh and a little bit boring at the moment because I'm not really so good at streaming and game developing at the same time. That's kind of why I'm doing these. So I'm open to any suggestion, but keep in mind I'm kind of a newbie at this kind of stuff. Streaming and doing this at the same time. Hey Raiders, welcome. Raiders of the Focus Lab Studios. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, thank you very much. So, like, I will be sure to like you and rage you as well, when I have time. Thank you, Focus Lab Studios. All right. So, I'm gonna have to jump off in a little bit as well, though, to be honest, because I'm going to have to start cooking dinner, for my kids. Okay, now we can kind of see this little island thing sticking its head out. Um, cool. All right, so Bluepin Studio. Hello, thank you, and welcome to my stream. So, if you guys have any questions about what I'm doing, you can drop them in the comments, and like I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible. Also, if you have any game projects that you're currently working on that you'd like for me to check out, please feel free to drop them in the comments, because I am looking to start streaming more indie games as well. All right. So, for those of you who just came in, we're making a game called Spirits of the Lost Wind, which is like kind of connected to my novel WildFIRE Legend of the Ryukage, which I was just showing people. Yeah. Which is kind of related to this 504-page book. So, right. So I'm a writer. I'm a comic producer, and I like making anime stuff. And I'm also working on a Kickstarter game that is much better than the one that I'm kind of doing right now, called CDULO: The Outer Rim. So you can check out my website and see the games that I've kind of already worked on, or the ones that are kind of in progress. Right now, I'm taking a break from creating my main game because it is Japanese tax season, and and it's the beginning of the year, so that's kind of a busy time for me. So while I'm taking a break from my Kickstarter game, and I will be releasing this on Steam. But while I'm taking a break from my Kickstarter game, and my Steam launch game, I do want to learn how to get better at making tutorials. So this game is not actually up on Steam yet. I'm just making the page, but I'll let you know when it's ready to be wishlisted. If you want to play some of the game that I've already made, you can go to my itch.io page and check out some of the projects that I've already done here. And if you like any of my merch, you can stop by my Nerdy Yerded online store, where I just create character, then make a cup and sell it online. All right. So for this one, this is a little mini project. I wanted to make a cute little game where we have that's a top-down shooter. But in this game, I've been playing. Okay, I've been playing League of Legends recently because I started watching this amazing show on Netflix called Arcane, right? And that kind of inspired me to make this game. Oh, you're a mobile game developer? Hey, I mean, yeah, me too. I was doing that before I got back into Unity. So, because I was playing League of Legends, that gave me kind of a lot of inspiration for this game where I can just where I have a character that can run around and pick up power-ups, right? So, right now, in order to clear this game, there's going to be a few key cards, and don't worry about that, I'll fix that later. There's a few key cards that the character will have to pick up, and she'll have to collect 5 key cards in order to go to the next stage. But she also has a few different attacks. So, like she just picked up her dash attack, which will be a card. And to activate her dash attack, the player can click here, or they can just activate it by pressing the Q key, right? So there are multiple attacks that this character will have. So for example, you've got this one. This will be her ranged attack. So she can actually come over here and like blast some enemies. So I'm still working on the game mechanics for this, but wow, you've been doing indie games for past 8 years? Okay, I'm the opposite. I was well, actually, I was doing educational games before. So I used to do English educational games, and like for Flash Action Script. Yeah, so I'm kind of an old head, right? So I was doing Flash Action Script games for companies like, online games and stuff like that. And then I got into mobile development. Huh. What I just picked up right now is actually a bomb. So I can come over here and like drop this bomb here and then go run somewhere and it didn't explode. But anyway, there is a bomb. Yeah. And then I also put like a dialogue system in here, which says absolute gibberish at the moment, but you guys get the idea. All right, so let me clear all of these. All right, so this is kind of the game that we have at the moment, and right now I'm working on the graphics. If you want to see, my graphics are, I'm more of an artist and a programmer, so just to show you like some of my art, all of these things on the store were designed by me, but for example, like this is like some artwork that I've done for my my Kickstarter game. So I can actually do like better art when I have more time, but when I'm making when I'm prototyping, I tend to use like the quickest graphics that I can. This is actually an NFT that I made like last week just for the sake of making an NFT because people keep on telling me I should make NFTs. Yeah. Yeah, so once I'm done, I do plan on like really doing like a lot more with the graphics here, making it look like a beautiful game. So let me go ahead and see if I can make it to the end of the level, and I'll show you the menu screen that we're going to be doing later. So I'm just gonna try to ignore all of these guys and run up in here. So later on in the tutorial, I'm actually going to like show you how I'm going to create this and like, add color to it and stuff like that. So story, play, we're going to do all of those. So you do mobile game develop and then ported it to Nintendo Switch. That is good. That's amazing because like that's one of the target like platforms for my Kickstarter game will be Nintendo Switch. I've never made a Nintendo Switch game. I've designed games for like games for PlayStation and on RPG Maker and stuff like that, but I never actually was able to port. So the only major platform I actually made games for was was iOS, right? So I used to do like kid stories, like little shooter games and stuff like that for iOS. Okay, and I think I played this enough. So let's see, what else am I going to do? All right, so we have a little bit of our background here going. We've got this little cloud island. I wanted to look like it's kind of hanging out above the water, so. And then we're going to duplicate this guy and come over here and like make this smaller to where we have like a little sky island chain. somewhere. Yeah, like maybe flip this one on the X. Yeah, flip this one on the X, make him hang off the screen a little bit. So I'm just using really like basic, simple graphics to do all of this because one, I'm lazy, and two, I don't have a lot of time normally. Well, I'm starting to have more time during the day though. Thank you, thank you. I'm really going to like I said, my main goal is like to become a full-time game developer this year. You know, kind of I've been thinking about it. I've been like dreaming about it for a while. You know, I've been trying to make my own production studio, but you know, and that's one reason why I was going to go back to the US because it would have been much easier for me to like actually get land and I mean I have land, but you know, get what I needed to make a full-time production studio. But you know, due to COVID, you know, I'm still kind of here at the moment. So you know, I'm gonna wind up building my studio in Japan. So my studio is gonna be like games and animation and like teaching kids how to make this kind of stuff. So one of the games that I've actually created, one of the projects that I'm the most proud of, I think. Really, yeah. Can you put a link to your project? I'm kind of interested in checking that out. Yeah, like so far I think one of the games that I'm mostly proud of would be the one that I kind of created with my kids called Quest of the Gummy Witch. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty nice underwater. So I'm gonna have to add a waterfall. Yeah. So any games or any projects that you guys have, just go ahead and link them. Yeah, I think you can post URLs. Yeah, you should be able to post URLs here. I mean, I'm not a Twitch expert either, though. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just kind of guessing. All right, so for our waterfall, I think we're going to use a particle system with this originally, but just to kind of mark where our waterfalls are going to be, we're going to grab this white circle and duplicate it, and you know, just kind of make some bubbles. That's a little bit of a big bubble, so we're just going to make bubbles and kind of post them around here. And this is going to indicate where our waterfalls are going to be. Right. Yeah, go ahead and try to post your URLs. I'm not sure if like Unity, I mean if Twitch is going to accept them or not, but create empty. I did all of that for no reason. Haha. Let's see, you guys. I've been bouncing between Unity 2019, which seems to still be the most stable version. What version of Unity are you guys using? Because I tried, I have 20.3, and I've had so many issues with that. Thank you for posting this link. Let me check it out on my iPhone right quick. Okay, so, waterfall bubbles. Okay, so there's going to be one waterfall here, and then we're going to duplicate this and move these guys over here. Yeah, just kind of move them over here and like make them double. Okaidi. Yeah. Alright, yeah, that looks a little... I just totally moved my original bubbles. Yeah. Okay, cool. So this is where our waterfall is going to be. Oh, a dark room. Okay. Yeah, I will definitely check that out. It's kind of a horror game, right? Go back to this. Not using Unity, ended up building a custom engine. Okay, yeah, when it comes to building custom engines and stuff like that, I'm definitely not that good. Like I said, I'm more... Actually, I don't really like programming. That's my problem. I can do it, and I can make projects and stuff like that, but I'm not really... I do coding and stuff out of necessity because I don't really want to pay other people to do it for me. uh, if I could avoid it. Yeah, I should put the water up here, but if I put the water up here, then these stones are kind of in the way. So I might have to rework where I put those stones, because I do not necessarily. Actually, no, this is a sky. This is a. Okay, yeah, she can walk across the water. She's like Jesus, so I'm going to give her a little bit of the ability to walk on water here, and maybe reach this platform over here. Actually, that might look a little bit better anyway. Okay. Cool. Minimalist text-based RPG surprisingly did really well despite the presentation. Okay, I'm definitely going to check that out after this. All right. Well, actually, guys, it is for something 4:15, and so I am gonna have to jump off soon to like start cooking dinner and stuff. So like thank you very much for stopping by my stream. I'm very happy that you guys stopped by. I don't think I really did anything so educational that you guys don't already know. But you know, just in case you're interested, like before I leave, you can just go over here and like check out the website. And if you want to read like some free comics, you can go up here and like read some of my comics or read some of my book, or you know, stop by and you know, play some games. So this is my online comic. If you guys are interested in checking that out, it's called the Ryukage, and like I said, all of my projects are connected. So I just put these online for free. So yeah, you can check this out. It's based in Japan anyway. Or if you want to play some games, you can come over to my itch.io page. And the game I would recommend playing is probably this one, Quest of the Gummy Witch, because this is the one that the one Unity game that I actually put the most work into, because this one started as a summer project with my kids. They were sitting at home and like they wanted to play Fortnite the whole summer. Oh no! I did not draw all of those panels. I drew my version of the panels, and then like when I gave them to an artist, I paid an artist to do like better versions of those for me. So like I did the base work, and then I found the guy who could draw better than me, and I just asked him to do it for me, and paid him. So yeah, so like like the book, I wrote all of the book. I self-published the book myself, so I did all the artwork in that. And I do all of the art, well, I say 98% of the artwork I do for my games, you know. So this is the Quest of the Gummy Witch game, which is probably the more fun game to play. My funnest Unity game to play. For let's see. And this one actually has a storyline. So, so this one actually, I did like a 20-minute video of the storyline for this, which you can kind of find on my Patreon page. So I do video editing and stuff as well. Where is my Patreon page? Yeah, so if you're interested in like seeing the story for that, you can just come over here to Patreon, and I got like some other tutorials, mostly for art. So I'm just now starting to do programming tutorials, but like here's some artwork for the game that I'm currently working on, my Kickstarter game, CDOLO: The Outer Rim. So you know, some of the panels that I've kind of done up here, and here's like a tutorial for how I do my artwork for my games, which I also stream on Twitch. And do I have any other good? Here's some of my character arts. This is also one of the characters from my CDULO game. He's a honey badger in space, who's actually pretty cool. And here's the 20-minute cutscene for Quest of the Gummy Witch. You know, so I do most of my art on iPad. So I actually drew and animated everything for that Quest of the Gummy Witch game on iPad. So I'll show you the quick intro scene. So all of this was done completely on iPad using Procreate and a software called KineMaster. So if you guys haven't played with KineMaster, I highly recommend, and you want to add cutscenes to your game, I highly recommend using KineMaster because it is so easy to use, and it's on iPad, so it's on mobile, so you can just kind of quickly design your message, your cutscenes anywhere that you are. Oh, and this is kind of like this is some gameplay from Quest of the Gummy Witch. Yeah, so that's kind of how the game plays out. So it's also a top-down shooter, but it you know, it doesn't really it has more of a storyline. Sorry. I have a lot of projects, but they're all secretly connected to the same storyline. So even this Quest of the Gummy Witch game is connected to to my original WildFIRE storyline. So you kind of have to play the game to find out how it's connected, or you have to watch this video. I haven't even finished the game. Hey, Michael, how's it going? Wow, everybody's jumping on now. Hey, it's good to see you. Hold on, let me turn the volume down on this guy. Yeah. So if you go to Patreon, Patreon is the only place where you can kind of like see how this whole Quest of the Gummy Witch storyline plays out. But like I said, this thing is 23 and a half minutes. So I actually did a lot of animation and storytelling here. Yeah, I know. Thank you. There's like a lot of people. I got raided at the last second. So yeah, so that kind of makes me feel bad because I got to jump off and cook dinner in a little bit. But I got about like maybe 8 more minutes, I think. So anyways, like what we were working on before you jumped on here is we were working on doing more artwork for this game, doing more level design for this game. I didn't really get so far, but you know, I did add a couple of other elements to it. And then I think we're not going to really spend so much time. The next time I jump onto this project, we're not going to spend so much time you know, like working on the background. I'm going to add like some Japanese style temples, like some padogas and stuff like that. And then we're going to go ahead and move on to like making the menu and stuff look a little bit better, because I should be finishing up my taxes fairly soon, which means that I'll need to jump back onto my main project, which will be the CDOLO project. To this one. Here's some of my other artwork. Yeah. Yeah, so this is like artwork from my main WildFIRE storyline. Yeah, so yeah, everything is connected. So and for those of you who have like any requests or anything that you guys want to see or any projects that you want me to check out, just go ahead and drop them in. You know, and I will try to get back to you and like get back to you on those. Is there anything else interesting that I need to show you before I jump off? No, Patreon, comics. For this comic series, I've only got like 2 issues. So when you finish reading issue number 1, you can come down here and hold on. You can come down here and check out my issue number 2, which is kind of black and white. And this is where, you know, the story really kind of starts to pick up. Yeah. So we did some really. No, my main project is called CDULO, The Outer Rim. So I have multiple projects going on right now. So my main game project is still this one, like CDULO, Beyond the Outer Rim. But while I'm taking a break from the busy season because I have to do my taxes and stuff like that, then I'm working on this other game as a tutorial. So the tutorial game that I'm working on is called Spirits of the Lost Winds. But this one right here that you're looking at is my main game project. So CDULO, The Outer Rim. This will be the Kickstarter game and the game that I'm planning to launch on Nintendo Switch. But right now I don't really want to work on this game while I'm trying to do taxes because I'm just going to frustrate myself trying to do too many things that need to get done at once. So I do want to keep up with my programming while I'm working on doing my necessary Japanese tax stuff and immigration stuff. So that's why I'm doing this tutorial series. Oh, here's some more of my artwork. So this is Franklin. Yeah. So Franklin from CDULO. So CDULO is like has a pretty good storyline because it's a spin-off from my main book, my main WildFIRE book. Yeah. And here's like some of my store products, you know, that I'm always like showing people. So I'll be making a new store products based on the games, based on this game as well. Yeah. So you can watch a little bit of a trailer about what the game to kind of give you an idea of what the game is going to be about and how it's going to play. Right. Yep. So home, games, comics, novels, NFT collection if you're into like NFTs. Um, you know. So yeah, just stop by and check that out. It'll give you a lot more background than I can kind of give you on Twitch, I think. Yep. And Patreon and comics and Steam page and like if you're interested in reading, you can read this whole 504-page novel. The CDULO Outer Rim story actually starts. Yes, I have a huge universe. So that's the good thing about my project is that this universe is endless. I've written movie scripts. I have TV pilots written. And so if my Kickstarter is successful, actually, I'm looking at hiring a professional animation company because I have a 50 episode animation based on this game that I want to use to kind of fill in the blank of the book. So like the CDULO storyline actually kind of takes place between chapters 2 and 3 of my book, right? But I didn't really write about it because like you know that's some of my old artwork. So between chapters 2 and chapters 3, there's kind of like a gap. So you know like I want to use this game and this animation series to kind of tell exactly what happened because this game will lead into like one of the major events of I'm a published writer. So yeah. No, but all okay, like so the way this all started is I wrote a book, right? I was writing a book for years, and so I wrote a book and I published a book. And like people who've read the book really like the book. And they love the storyline and they love the characters, which is where all of my online store characters come from. But like the book wasn't really so successful because I didn't like know how to market it or anything. So that's why I started making websites, you know, with the characters. And that got a little bit popular. Then I started making comics to start telling the beginning. So it all started from this book. And now like since I have originally I was going to write 6 books, right? Like 6 novels. So I know this whole entire storyline from generation to generation to generation. I know how every character lives. I know how every character dies, and I've written multiple like scenarios for each character, right? Yeah, and there are hundreds of characters. But I didn't really know the best medium to tell the story because not so many people were reading books at the time. So that's why I started that's one reason why I started getting into game development because I'm like, well, if people aren't reading books, maybe I can tell the story through the games. And so so this book is the root of all of my projects. Even my Quest of the Gummy Witch game is connected to this in a way. But the comics, the Ryukage comic is actually a prequel to the book, right? So that's the starting point. So there's the comics, and then the book, and then the video games and stuff are going to be like going to fill in the blanks from the book because there's time skips, right? So the comics start off in feudal Japan, which is where the original story starts. Then there's a skip to like the future, like the year 2029. You know, and that's where like another key character is presented. And then after certain events, there's another time skip where you meet the actual main cast. And this is the main cast of the WildFIRE storyline. Yeah, so you can kind of read their profiles here. It was my hobby that turned into a living, right? I wasn't really making money from doing this before, but then my wife was mad at me. She's like, this is just like you're like really not making so much money on this stuff, how. And so like but I was working IT and doing stuff at the time. But then one day, I noticed that I had a lot of artwork just kind of like hanging around my house that I was hanging on my computer that wasn't doing anything. So, one time I got really, really depressed, and I'm like, but I had this character, and that was looking at on my computer, and that was Franklin, right? So hold on, this character. So, I was looking at all this artwork. I'm like, man, I've been working on this stuff for years, and I haven't really made that much money off of it. My comics aren't selling, my book isn't selling, you know. And then like, I'm like, but I have this really cool character, right? And I wanted a T-shirt for myself of this character. So what I did is I made this T-shirt of this character, because I like this color. And so I put this character on a T-shirt, and then I put a saying, and then I started wearing this around my neighborhood, right? Well, that's actually how my online store started, because like people like this character so much, and they like the T-shirt. They like what it said, so they're like, "Well, where did you get that?" And I'm like, "Oh, I made it myself." They're like, "Really?" So that gave me the idea. I'm like, well, I have so much artwork just kind of hanging out on my computer doing nothing. So I might as well just go ahead and start like, making like posting them, putting them on t-shirts and stuff like that. And that's how my Nerdy Urges online store started. And like before COVID, actually this business was doing really well. So like every month I had like orders because like these are all original characters that you can't find anywhere else, right? And after COVID, like the sales kind of went down, and then like we have import export issues and like gas prices and stuff like that. So the business hasn't been doing so well for like selling products. But and that's another reason why like I'm kind of shifting more over to digital media. Yeah, but all of these are from my games, from my original characters, and from my comics and from my book. Yeah. I would say I would say e-commerce and game dev are equally brutal. To be honest, e-commerce, my e-commerce is, mm, I think e-commerce plus game dev is actually a good. It's kind of like a good combination because with if you're doing e-commerce with yeah, if you're doing like game dev, it's hard to make money. If you're doing e-commerce, it's hard to make money. But if you take the two and kind of combine them, then it can be a really good dynamic because like you're gonna have like some people who don't like your game but like the characters, right? And then you're gonna have some people who don't like your characters but like games. And so like they kind of and like the good thing about this is like if your characters are original and people are always looking for something that nobody else has, right? So if you have your own online store with your own like merchandise and your own properties and your own brand, well, I mean, like I said, I have kids running around my neighborhood wearing my brand, and it trips me out because because I forget like that they bought something like a long time ago, and like so I'll like see some little girl playing at the park, and then she turns around and she's wearing like my one of my hoodies and stuff like that. But the reason why they bought it, one is because the characters are kind of cute and like designed for Japan, or cute, cool, and also like nobody else has it, so they kind of feel special, and plus they know me. A lot of them know me, so yeah. But like for example, a few years ago, which one was my? This is the shirt from my Quest of the Gummy Witch game, which you can kind of play on itch.io. But this shirt was selling okay. But then my youngest son created this shirt, right? And this is how I don't give my kids free money. So like I don't believe in giving them free money. So when this business was doing like pretty good, I used to let my kids like make money by doing this, right? So, believe it or not, this was one of the top selling products in my online store for a while. And this was created by, I think it was 7 years old at the time. Yeah, this is actually one of my best selling ones from my games. My best selling shirt of all, I would say, is ah, it's a toss up between this one. Yeah. So this is the one of Vincent from my main WildFIRE storyline. Yeah, so this one people like this because I advertise them as I advertise them as training wear because I'm heavily into martial arts and I know a lot of professional fighters, right? For K1 Pride, Ryzen and stuff. So I used to train with them. So a lot of my customers are like people who are active. So I advertise these as like anime style training goods, and so that's why a lot of like girls and stuff would buy them, for training wear. Yeah, but this is actually one of my top selling ones. And then for hoodies, I think. Oh, and this one right here. This is also a one of my top selling ones because this is from the Ryukage comic series, the one that you can read online. So a lot of people like this one. They like the white one or the black one. Those tend to sell well. So I I advertise this one as a Father's Day present. you know. So I'm like, yeah, give this one to your dad or to your husband and let him read the comics kind of thing. So I have like a pair. It's like the husband and then the wife, who both die in the comic, by the way. Spoiler alert. So yeah. So this is how I was making money for like until COVID hit, man, and like so I didn't really have to work at a company for from like 2016 until 2019. I advertised them on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook. Oh, yeah, I advertised it as the Father's Day present on Instagram and on Facebook before they went dirty, and on Twitter. Um, and so like the way I advertised it was like I had the husband T-shirt, so this is the husband T-shirt, and then this is the wife T-shirt. So I advertised them as a pair. I'm like, so yeah, you should get this for like, so for the husband T-shirt, I'm like, that one's for Father's Day. For Valentine's Day, I advertised a pair on Instagram and on Twitter, which I will do again, probably next week. Uh, and then like on Mother's Day, I advertised the Mother's T-shirt. Yeah, which is this one. But like I said, the reason why people buy them is because they're original, right? They're original and they're also connected to something. So if I just like have a T-shirt that's not connected to anything, people will have to kind of judge to see whether they like it just based on the artwork. But because this is connected to a comic that people can actually read, they can read the background of the story. I think that's kind of what helps them sell a little bit more. So when you go to the store, you can actually find like a video that tells you about the T-shirt, right? Or when you go to my Quest of the Gummy Witch products, whenever you click on a product, you can see what it's actually linked to, right? So, for example, when I go here, yeah, you can see the T-shirt, and you're like, okay, well, it's just a cute T-shirt, and then you can see the video of the game, and you're like, oh, this character is actually in this game. Well, that creates a bit of curiosity because people are like, oh, I didn't know there was a game for this. So, they might want to, play the game to see what it's like. And if they play the game and they like the character or they like the story, that kind of creates a mental connection to the product. So a lot of times I found that they would buy it, simply out of curiosity or simply because, oh wow, there's a cool game associated with this, right? So that's why I say combining game dev and combining like an online store is probably one of the better ways to go about it. Mm. Yeah, like it was, but then COVID came and shot everything down because now it is so hard. There's so much competition and it's so hard to get products. Yeah, so like I just found a really good niche of like nerd stuff. Nerd stuff that nobody else can get. And the only place you can get these products is just like from my store, right? So just connecting comics, connecting games, connecting merchandise. Well, I mean, I'm not making so much money off of this now because of COVID, just because like import export stuff. So, I'm Corona came and hit my business really, really hard. I mean, like a lot of like online retailers got hit bad with this because people don't buy stuff if they're not people don't buy clothes if they're not going outside really. So stay at home, import export stuff. So, you know, it's it's difficult because you always kind of have to stay ahead or think of other ways to mm, kind of help your business grow. So right now, because of the isolation system and stuff like that, I'm looking more towards digital media, making tutorials and like a full-time game dev. You know, so that's a good thing about this kind of business, though. It is flexible. So as long as you're running your own business, you have the flexibility to do kind of whatever you need to. So if one thing isn't working, then you can like kind of go to the next. Mm, yeah. And also, this one is pretty popular too. This hoodie that I'm wearing right now, because this is from my business partner, who is actually a very, very legendary martial artist. His name is Lauren Avedon. So I also create his brand, which is this warrior wear brand down here, and this is all like martial arts based stuff. I got some support from the government in Japan only 1 year. Because I don't really trust. I think I'm gonna have to pay some of that back. So I didn't really ask for it for the next couple of years for the past 2 years. But the first year I did. They just gave it to me. Um, but now it's like I'm making sales every now and then. But it's kind of like it's I'm having to look for other ways right now because of all of the import export stuff. Hmm. Yeah, but I'm still making products because it doesn't cost me anything to make products and just put them up on the store. So, every time I think of a good character or I have a good design, I just put it up on the store, and if somebed wants to buy it, they buy it. So this is like from the Warrior Wear brand. And the cool thing about this brand actually is that, like I said, this hoodie that I'm wearing right now is actually from a guy named Lauren Avedon. So him and I we're partners, and I create his website and his brand, right? But for those of you who might recognize the name, he was very popular for movies like King of the Kickboxers and No Retreat, No Surrender back in the 1980s and 1990s. So like we're like best friends, right? So we chat quite a bit. So he saw my Nerdy Urges online store, and he wanted to create a brand of his own. So he asked me to create his brand. So that's what I'm wearing right now. And to give you an idea of how awesome this guy is, let's see if I can find King of the Kickboxers. Has anybody ever heard of this movie, King of the Kickboxers? If you like martial arts and you like stunts and you like action, this is the guy that these are the movies you should be watching, right? So here's a very you can like find a lot of these videos on YouTube. No, I don't. Yeah. So he's one of the pioneers of martial arts action. Yeah, martial arts kung fu movies. So like um like he's almost as popular as Jackie Chan and as I would say Jet Li and them back in the day. Like he replaced Jean-Claude Van Damme for No Retreat, No Surrender series. That's how badass he is, right? Yeah. So yeah, he's really, really popular for these movies. So now him and I are working together. And one of the secrets of my Kickstarter game is he is going to be voice acting one of these characters for my game. Yeah. So he's already locked in. So he's just waiting for me to finish the game and give him the dialogue. And he's actually going to be playing one of the characters in the game, an older version of one of the characters in my game. So he'll be doing voice work for my Kickstarter game. Yeah. Yeah, but if after I leave this, I highly recommend checking out some Lauren Avedon videos because he's got some really amazing movies. And oh man, this is I mean I don't want to get into martial arts flicks or nothing on a Twitch stream for a gaming, but and this is Billy Blanks, the Taibo guy, but he used to be a really badass actor too, for action movies back in the day. Yep. Okay. So like I could watch this like all day long, but I highly recommend that you guys watch it. This one is called King of the Kickboxers. So if you take away nothing else from this Twitch stream, like please go watch King of the Kickboxers and see my boy in action. Yeah. But that is this is where this is one of the more popular products on my store as well. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so like thank you all for like showing up. I just kind of rambled on for the last part of this. Um so now I'm kind of behind schedule for cooking, so I have to like jump off. Like Taekwondo? I did Taekwondo for 1 year, but my base is actually capoeira and traditional Muay Thai. It's called Muay Boran. So I learned that in the military, and also like I also do Kali. So I do martial arts almost every day here in Tokyo. That's my morning ritual. I haven't really been able to fight or train so much because of COVID, with other people, but I do practice every day. So capoeira, Muay Thai, Kali, and Wing Chun are my four main styles. So if you check out my Instagram, if you ever check out my Instagram account, you'll see that where is my Instagram account? I have so many windows open, sorry. But if you check out my Instagram account, you'll see that I kind of post a lot of training videos. Uh, da, 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 da. Oh, I haven't posted anything recently, but so I'm always like posting some kind of training stuff. Nah, not that one. But anyway, you can kind of get a feel for like the style that I do by looking at my account and the food that I eat. This is me doing Kali with like with a friend of mine. You know, so Kali, Muay Thai, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's like as a game developer, it's always a good idea to like do some kind of training, especially in the morning, to keep yourself in shape. Because once you sit down and you start programming and stuff, or you start doing artwork, you're gonna be there all damn day. So in most cases, right? So like and a lot of times like if you run into a bug or something, you're not gonna have any energy to really try to train at night. So I try to get my training done first thing in the morning before I do my training, take a shower, eat breakfast, do some housework or stuff like that, and then like I get into my game dev. Yeah, so if you're interested in that, you can check me out on Wildblade at Instagram. I think you've already got my Instagram account. So Blue Pen Studio, if you're interested in martial arts, just ask me. I train a lot, and I know a lot of good different styles. I train anything. Anything that is interesting, I'll just kind of jump into it. Yeah. So that's a pretty quick intro for me. I guess we'll get back to this game development at some point later this week. But I'm gonna try to make Tuesdays tutorial Tuesdays. So I'm gonna tutorial Tuesdays and tutorial Thursdays. One reason I'm doing tutorials is not because I'm the best game developer in the world. Actually, I kind of suck at Unity right now, but because I want to get better. So like one of the best ways to get better at something is to start teaching it, because that means that you really have to kind of know what you're talking about. Yeah, so that's kind of like my New Year's resolution. So once I'm finished with this game, I'm actually gonna start doing a 3D game. Right, so 2D, 3D, 2D, 3D until I get better at doing both of them. Cause I haven't done a 3D game in a while. All right, guys, thank you very much for following my Twitch stream and jumping in and rating me and stuff. And I hope that I can see you guys on again next time. I'll probably jump on later after I finish cooking and getting my kids fed and homework stuff. And I'll probably maybe be on League of Legends if anybody's playing that. So, and I'll try to connect with some of you. All right, but for now, I have to go and cook dinner. So it was very nice meeting all of you, and I hope to see you again soon. And everyone, have fun and take care. All right, bye for now. Yeah, studio, ちょっと待って。